Ever argued with someone so stubborn you started questioning reality? Like, you could literally show them video evidence, a PowerPoint presentation, and bring in 3 witnesses and they'd still say that's not what happened. Yeah, some people just refuse to apologize. But why? Is it pride? Is it a secret society of non-apologizers? Or do they just not have a functioning conscience? Let's break it down. Because there's actually some science and psychology behind it. Let's talk about cognitive dissonance, which is just a fancy way of saying, my brain hates when reality proves me wrong. Basically, when people do something that contradicts their beliefs about themselves, their brain panics. They think, I'm a caring person. I wouldn't hurt the person I love. But then reality hits. I just said something really hurtful. And suddenly a wave of discomfort kicks in. Wait, does that mean I'm a bad partner? That thought is too hard to accept, so instead of facing it, their brain takes a shortcut. Deny, deflect, or shift the blame. Instead of saying, I shouldn't have said that, they come up with a different version of events. Maybe they brush it off. You're too sensitive. Or turn it into a joke. Oh, come on, I was just joking. Or flip it back on their partner. Well, you started it. It's not always intentional. Their brain is just trying to protect them from feeling like the bad guy. Basically, their brain rewrites reality to protect their ego. But in the process, they make the other person feel unheard and invalidated. Alright, so now we know their brain is fighting against reality. But for some people, apologizing isn't just uncomfortable, it feels like an attack on their identity. Imagine their self-image is like an old, fragile Jenga tower. If they pull out the I was wrong block, they think the whole thing will collapse. So, instead of admitting fault, they go into self-protection mode. They'll pretend it never happened. I don't remember saying that. And make you the bad guy instead. You were just overreacting. Change the subject faster than a politician at a press conference. See the pattern? It's not about what's right or wrong, it's about defending their ego at all costs. And if you've ever seen someone argue their way out of a completely obvious mistake, congratulations, you've just witnessed ego gymnastics in action. Next, we have the people who treat apologies like a fire alarm, only necessary in extreme situations. To them, if nobody's bleeding or suing, it's not worth acknowledging. You tell them, hey, you hurt my feelings. And they respond, no, I didn't. And now you're sitting there like, I was there. In fact, I was the main character in this situation. These people operate on a different emotional software. If something wouldn't bother them, they assume it shouldn't bother you either, like emotional robots with a broken empathy chip. Instead of apologizing, they'll hit you with, you're overreacting. It was just a joke. Why are you making a big deal out of nothing? But let's be real. Nothing escalates a situation faster than telling someone they're overreacting. It's like throwing water on a grease fire. And ironically, by refusing to apologize because it's not a big deal, they usually turn it into an even bigger deal. These people twist reality so they're never in the wrong. You tell them, hey, you hurt me. And instead of apologizing, they go, wow, so now I'm the bad guy? After everything I've done for you. Suddenly, you're the one apologizing, even though they were the problem. It's like an emotional Uno reverse card. This is classic deflection. Instead of taking responsibility, they turn the whole thing into how they were actually the victim the entire time. Now, this might sound weird, but some people never learned how to apologize. If they grew up in a family where no one ever said sorry, just awkward silence and pretending nothing happened, then that's how they think conflict resolution works. They don't say, I'm sorry. They just wait for time to pass and hope everyone forgets. So what do you do if you're dealing with one of these non-apologizers? 1. Accept that they may never say it. Some people genuinely can't apologize, and waiting for them to do it is like waiting for Wi-Fi on a deserted island. It's not happening. 2. Look at their actions instead of their words. Some people suck at verbal apologies but will try to make it up in other ways, like being extra nice, doing small favors, or suddenly offering you food out of nowhere. 3. Set boundaries. If someone constantly refuses to take responsibility for hurting you, it might be time to reevaluate how much access they have to you. 4. Don't force an apology. If someone is pressured into apologizing, they might just say it without actually meaning it. Ever heard a sarcastic sorry? Yeah, that's worse than nothing. At the end of the day, an apology is just words unless it comes with actual change. So if someone never says, I'm sorry, but keeps making the same mistake, that tells you all you need to know. But if you're the kind of person who finds it hard to say sorry maybe, just maybe, it's time to practice. Because here's the thing, apologizing doesn't make you weak. It makes you a better human. Now let's be real, did someone pop into your head while watching this? If so, feel free to send this to them with absolutely no context.